I want to explain the aggregate ranking that I do for all of my local SEO clients. So over here, this is the Excel spreadsheet. What I do is every time I run a local Falcon scan, I take the share of local voice for that particular keyword and I add it. And I'm looking for a month over month average to see if we're improving our percentage to get more website clicks and phone calls for them. So some terms like AC repair, AC installation, AC repair company, HVAC near me, etc. This is an example of a local Falcon scan I provide for my clients. And then I take the data points of each scan and I add them directly into Excel. It's just an easier way to look at all this data. And then in Local Falcon, I'm constantly looking at the top competitor ranking report. I'm looking for trends. I'm looking to see what dots are positioned 4, 5, and 6 that I could potentially flip for them to get more website clicks, phone calls, and leads for their business. But I spend most of my time, though, here in Excel. I'm constantly looking at the trends of our top non-brand keywords. What can we do to improve our share of local voice to get more, as I said, leads for them on a monthly basis? If I can get the percentage up higher for share of local voice, that should result in more customers for them on a monthly basis. One more point as well when it comes to the maps. So this is just Google Maps SEO. Now I can in Local Falcon track Apple Maps for my competitors. I can do it within Bing Maps, but Apple Maps I can do. The reason why I don't do a lot of aggregate ranking for Apple Maps is because it's a little bit harder for me to understand the share of local voice as of now, because DuckDuckGo, it's a very small search engine. So if you're in the top map pack for that, it's really hard to justify how much more of a lift that's going to do for website clicks and phone calls. And then on Apple Maps itself, again, the share of local voice is really the top, a couple of positions really for them. So I'm only tracking this within Google, but I anticipate that Apple Maps will become a little more refined, I think, as the service continues. And I think then tracking Apple Maps aggregate ranking will be just as important as Google. But right now, every time I'm talking about the aggregate rankings and the map, I'm only referring to Google, not Bing, and not Apple. Anyway, this was just a quick behind the scenes look at what I do for local SEO for my clients. So every client is different regarding the keywords and the goals and what they're expecting for me to provide. But really, at the end of the day, for me, it is looking at their current baseline of their rankings, looking for ways to improve their share of local voice, get more website clicks, phone calls, leads, and then hopefully customers for them as well. There's a lot of factors that go into local SEO. So seasonality plays a factor, competition. If you're a home service area business versus a physical location at a business address, reviews, the age of how long your business has been around on the web, etc. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But essentially what I'm trying to do, though, for all my local clients is to show growth as early as possible and kind of correlate that with the more impressions we're getting, more qualified leads to more website clicks, phone calls, and customers for them. And then I can always back that up with the data that I have within Local Falcon, the heat map, how the map is changing for them, and then what are those secondary terms we're going after to keep growing their base. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one.